monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday play.
Oh my gosh, welcome back to the American Movie Podcast. This is your host, Matthew Benjamin. How's it going? I just saw Kong, Skull Island, and it was amazing. Okay, first of all, the cinematography in this show was awesome. It was so cool, okay? It seemed like the director, Roberts, he sat down and took a lot of time and effort into like putting all of this thought into how the direction in which everything is going to be shot, like scene by scene by scene. And it seemed like it was a process. Like it took a long time to put into play. And it was really, really cool. Like, there was everything seemed genuine. Like the helicopters looked genuine. Everything looked like it was shot in place. Like it looked like it was shot on site. It was so cool. It was so cool. The cast was okay. My boy Samuel L. Jackson, I absolutely love that dude. He's amazing. He was pretty good in this. He had amazing one-liners as usual. I don't know if he writes stuff himself or not, but he had some good one-liners, and there's a couple of parts that just you're like, oh dude, nice. It's just so funny. So that was cool. That was really cool. He did a really cool job. The other cast members, it was Hiddleston. Hiddleston was just okay. There was a little bit of like, oh, you can't really connect with the characters. There's that stuff going around, and why? Why do you want to connect with the characters that bad anyways? It's a monster movie. And you want to see Kong. You go to see the giant ape, and you see him a lot. You do see him a lot. There's a fine line in between seeing Kong too much, where it seems like you strap a GoPro to Kong, and he's just the entire movie, and then probably the same criticisms would have came up. There was no character development, or we just didn't really see the characters. And I think there's a fine line in between too much Kong and not enough Kong. And this one, there could have been a little bit more screen time, but it wasn't like stints of 4 hours. Like it seemed like it kept on pace, and it didn't seem like wrongful at all. So that was cool. But I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It was the cinematography was amazing. Samuel L. did great. Kong, I mean, CGI is where it needs to be right now, especially with like you go back to old monster movies or old CGI, and like, okay, no offense, but like the old Hulk, and those giant dogs, those mutant dogs, like it just doesn't look good at all. So, and this one is not even on the same level. The CGI is amazing. Like, it's very captivating because you don't realize you're watching a movie for the most part. Like sometimes you can be taken out of it, and you're like, oh man, I'm in a movie and I'm watching a movie, but it's really captivating, and it keeps your attention very, very well because the CGI is so smooth. And I think a lot of that matters to the color palette. Like the shadows and everything match up very, very well. I was never distracted by that. You know, the weird scenes where they're like, just for example, they're in a helicopter and you can see the background in it, and the color palette doesn't match the clothes. It doesn't look right. But none of that actually happened within this movie. I didn't see any of that, any of the distracting little bits and pieces where you're like, oh, okay, they were on a set or something like that. All of it seemed really realistic. All of it, besides the giant monkey, all of it seemed really realistic in the way it was shot. Like they were actually within the environment. Nothing looked plastic. Nothing looked faux, So that was cool. I really appreciated that. And the cinematography was really cool. It seemed like every single shot he wanted to make, they could have taken a picture of it and used it within like the IMDb database. Like every single portion or area of the movie, you could just take a shot of it, and it would look like a very well planned shot that was actually planned out accordingly to be placed on the internet or an IMDb to actually represent the movie. It was really cool. Like this director, I've never seen him or heard of him at all, but I mean, I think he's a young guy, and it's Vogt Roberts. I don't know. And it seems like he was trying very, very hard and put a lot of thought into all of the shots. So it was really, I was really appreciative to see that, and it was cool. It was just really cool. He did. I mean, it was like every shot. So like, there's a couple times where you're like, "Holy why did you turn? Why'd you turn it sideways?" Or a couple other things. So I don't want to spoil much of this movie because it just is recent, but it was really good. It was compared to any other monster movie. I think it's up there with. I think it's up there. I think it's top 2, top 3. I mean, within the last 5 years, like all of the Godzillas and all of that, I think it's up there. Definitely. I enjoyed Kong a lot. Especially, you don't go to the movie for character depth. I know you spend a lot more time than you'd want with the characters in this movie. The movie's actually about Kong isn't the enemy, okay? I'm not going to spoil anything, but Kong isn't the enemy at all. Time is most of the enemy with with the people. So they go to Skull Island, they get stranded, and time is the biggest enemy for them. So, and the island is pretty much the enemy. It's not really Kong. So that was a nice surprise actually, because that's pretty much the idea. Kong is not the bad guy. He was taken and stuff like that. So this wasn't even like close to the other movies at all. I enjoyed this one a lot. There was no creepy Jack Black turning over the camera. It was actually really good. John freaking Goodman's in here. I'm a huge fan of John Goodman. He's a bro. John Goodman's just a bro. He is the guy who actually initiates all of this. Like, he initiates the trek and the journey to Skull Island and all of that. So he was a main character in this, and he did a great job too. He was really good. So I definitely appreciate the direction of this movie. It seemed like it was setting up a lot of things. It seemed like this was definitely planned accordingly on a linear scale for next movies. Definitely, like, it was setting a base. You could definitely tell that. And I hope it's not a base where it's Kong versus Godzilla. I really hope not. I hope not, but my intuition says it is. I didn't look it up. I should have, but I'm really hoping not, because that's just so silly. But if it is, I'll watch it. But we shall see. But yeah, there is some criticisms with it. We didn't like the characters and stuff like that. Well, nothing was distracting within the movie. Like, I didn't not like them. It's just you don't draw a humongous connection with them, and it's not a big deal to me. I mean, you go there for Kong, and when Kong's on the screen, it's impeccable, man. Like, it's so spectacular to see all of the fight scenes and his struggles and his just movement throughout the island is just very, very cool to see. So it was definitely one monster movie that I was happily surprised at how good it did turn out, because sometimes they can be goofy. They can be absolutely goofy, and which ones, what I'm talking about. It's just like so hokey, and there was a few moments with that, and with a big, huge budget movie like this, there's going to be a few Hollywood hokey parts within it, and that just comes with the price you pay with a giant movie like this. Like, there's a lot of people that have a lot of say within these movies, so there's going to be some dumb lines a couple times, or like some illogical choices within it, and there was nothing that was stuck out like sore thumbs. It was very good. It was very good. You go there for an action adventure, and you come out watched an action adventure. It was really cool. I highly recommend, if you like action adventure and you like Kong, if you like the last ones, you're gonna love this one. This one's super cool. So I highly, highly, highly recommend, if you want to see something like that and you just want to be entertained, because it is a giant ape on screen. Like, it's definitely for entertainment. And I didn't get to go over John C. Reilly. He did a great job in this too. He was the comic relief for sure in this, as you probably would expect if you knew John C. Reilly was in here. He was really, really funny in this, and he's actually intertwined within the story pretty well. I mean, he was I'm not going to go through it, but if you want me to go through all of Kong, I'll do a separate one. Please comment or like down below and let me know if you want to go through the actual criticisms of Kong. They were very light. Nothing was horrible. Nothing was like, it was definitely, you would not go see this movie because of these criticisms. So I would definitely recommend it if you like these type of movies, these action, adventure, on pace, time is of the essence movies, then yeah, you're gonna like this movie. I really, really think so. So, but that is it for now. I would just saw it. It was great. It was great. Check it out this weekend if you have time. It's a really fast-paced, fun action adventure, trekking through the jungle type movie. So it's really, really fun. But that's it for now. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. If you like this, please like, and if you like this even more, please subscribe. Because I'm going to go pretty much through all in-depth movies, everything upcoming, series, all kinds of stuff. Whatever you guys like to see, I'm going to do. Okay, so please comment below if you'd like this or want to see anything else. If you want me to go through Kong later, just so I don't want to spoil it for anybody. So yeah, but you can always contact me at americanmoviepodcast@gmail.com. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, all the social medias. So I'll post everything down below, all the connections, and so you can either follow me, contact me, or just see what I'm doing. So that's it for now. I'm gonna say that's it for now about 5 more times. So but thank you, I appreciate for watching. Bye.
Let's not get episodic, okay? Full timer? Beginning, middle, end. Facts, details, condense, plot, tell it.